We got audio. We got
Audio.
visual.
Visuals.
We got everything. We got everything.
Got everything. Everything's working.
People are like, "What? This is not. It's Monday." People are like, "What are you doing?" It's not Tuesday.
I know. Scheduling conflicts and other priorities have kind of pushed our schedule up. That's okay.
But you know what? You know what though? We still made this shit happen.
Yup.
Still getting this shit done, bro. And it was crazy. It's crazy when I hit you up this morning and you were like, yo, you was like, I was just about to ask you, can we do another day because X, Y, and Z? And we both were like, all right, yeah, we could just rock out tonight instead. So we're giving y'all a treat, man, a little impromptu treat. No big deal.
Yeah, it's weird because it feels like a Tuesday, man. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
feel like it's Tuesday. Like, this is normally my Tuesday nights.
I almost lost track because I was like, all right, like I got to gear up for the stream later. Like Tuesday nights are our trash nights. Like they come get the trash Wednesday morning. I was ready to start taking like the shit out at some point, thinking it was Tuesday. Yo, it's a lot. I don't know how much movie news you got, man. I don't know if you like how much you've been online today. There's
a couple things that I've seen, rumors mostly, but breaking news about like 3 hours ago about Colin Farrell joining James Gunn's DCU.
Is that rumor? Or is that like?
Oh, that's real. So Daniel. So for those that don't know, James Gunn was developing a Sergeant Rock movie with Daniel Craig playing Sergeant Rock. And so Daniel Craig left the project for scheduling conflicts. Colin Farrell is now stepping into the lead role as Sergeant Rock. So,
and this is a James Gunn project.
Well, it's under the James Gunn universe. I don't know if it's James Gunn's project specifically.
But yeah, it's still something that he wants to put on this. He's already Penguin.
This is crazy. So according to Deadline, Colin Farrell is in talks to join Luca Guadagnino's Sergeant Rock. Now, Luca Guadagnino directed Suspiria, Challengers, Call Me By Your Name, and Queer.
Oh, wow.
And this movie is supposed to be
trying to get us canceled early on in the episode.
Hey, that's what the movie's called.
About to say, we like 5 minutes in, man. What the fuck?
And
it's the title of the movie, people, because there's always that one person that'll click on the video at that exact moment when you said that and we're talking about it. The cancel culture.
So this is actually a period piece taking place during World War II. So it looks like Colin Farrell has stepped in and is going to be Sergeant Rock. Deal is not finalized, but he's expected to report to DC production later this summer.
All right, I don't know anything about this character. I don't know anything about this project, but like Colin Farrell, I just saw on Facebook probably like an hour before we streamed. It was something talking about, I think, season 2 of Penguin. And I'm like, Colin Farrell, I did not want to see a spinoff of that, but I'm like, okay, he did an amazing job as the Penguin. I know he's supposed to be like the gangster version of Oswald Cobblepot and all of that, but let's not get this shit too cluttered, James Gunn. Let's not get desperate. And if you said it's going to be a separate thing, he said that Robert Pattinson's Batman is not going to be in his his universe for sure, and rightfully so, because that Batman and this new Superman coming out, I don't see them making that work at all. That's going to be like a bad versus type of movie or some shit like that. But if there's no involvement in that, you're bringing somebody over that's already in that part of DC, it's just confusing. I don't know. It's confusing. I might skip it. I want to support DC, but I'm like, I don't know about this shit.
I don't know, because Sergeant Rock did make a brief appearance in the Creature Commandos cartoon in the G.I. Robot episode, so I wonder if it's going to kind of elaborate a little bit more on that. This could be like the Wolfenstein movie that we're all been looking forward to, in my opinion. Because Sergeant Rock is kind of like that. You know what I mean? He deals with supernatural entities and stuff like that, so... I'm looking at
a picture from one of the, I don't know which comic it's from, but I'm looking at a picture. He looks like he's seen some shit in his life. He looks insane. But I
His
mean,
eyes are all bugged out and shit, bro. Like, yeah.
yeah, he's got like a belt of bullets over his shoulder. His shirt's half open. He's got like the war helmet on. I don't know what the fuck is behind him because they got it split screen with Colin Farrell. I don't know, man. I want to root for I don't want to be too negative. I want to root for DC as much as I possibly can. Like I love DC. I don't know about some of these properties James Gunn is picking for this slate. I just know I'm hype about Brave and the Bold and Swamp Thing. All the other shit is a bonus at this point. Superman looks cool, but like the trailer wasn't all that epic or anything like that. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I really do hope they cast Alan Richardson as Batman because I think that'd be fucking dope.
I'm mad this is soda and not like strong beer. People, we are not sponsoring Day Soda, by the way. It just so happened I got fruit punch in here. But I really wish this was hard alcohol right now because like there's so many people online, bro, that want Alan Richardson, and he's expressed like he's like, yo, man, I would love to play, Batman. I'm just like, all right, Batman wise, he's like probably bigger than is he bigger than Affleck? He kind of looks like he's taller.
He's fucking huge, bro. He's swole.
So like physical wise, like he'd probably whoop just as much, if not more, ass than Ben Affleck's Batman did. But like I just look at it like Bruce Wayne wise. I gotta like Bruce Wayne too, and I don't know if he got the act. Like then again, I don't watch enough of Alan Richardson's movies. Like I don't watch.
So you never watched Reacher?
I've seen like a couple clips where he beats the shit out of people, and he gets busy in that show. But I never watched like a whole episode or a whole season or nothing like that.
I would watch Reacher, bro. I think that might sway you. I think that might sway you.
I saw some old shit from Alan Richardson, and I'm like, who are you trying to be, Chris Pratt or Ryan Reynolds? It was some type of comedy. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know what.
Way before. That was way. Are you talking about Blue Mountain State?
Yeah. It was something, and I was like, I don't know what you're going for. You seem like you want to be Van Wilder, but you seem like you want to be, like Parks and Rec. I couldn't get a grasp on who the fuck he was trying to be. But yeah, that was definitely early because he was smaller. He was like The Rock when The Rock was in Doom and like Walking Tall and shit, where he was still a big guy, but he looked small.
Yeah. Before they stopped drug testing.
But
they don't test for that shit in the movies. They do in WWE, so
that would break my heart, yo. That's like finding out like your favorite superhero is fake as a kid or some shit like that, like having your childhood ruined. Like if The Rock was on the juice, oh man, like Vin Diesel would probably have a field day. He'd probably wait until after they get this last Fast and Furious movie done, but he probably would come out in like interviews and shit like, yeah, I knew Dwayne was on the juice. I just didn't want to.
I just didn't want to say anything.
No
way in hell, man. I don't know, man, but like I followed The Rock's career, man, when I was young, and seeing him now, like. There's something different there. I'm sorry.
Shit. Bro, if you watch, like, you got, like, I think everything up until, I don't really remember when he bulked up the way he did. Because this was like some L Cool J shit. Like, you remember when L Cool J did, like, H2O, and he kind of looked like he was short and stocky, but then, like, he did Mindhunters, and he's shooting bullets in the wall, and, like, I don't know if you see Mindhunters.
Yeah. Underrated.
When he's like climbing on the walls, he's like jacked, yo. And that's how it was with The Rock. I think like he was small in like Walking Tall, The Rundown, Doom.
But the thing with LL though is that if you look at LL's body, he's cut. He's much more cut than The Rock. Rock
he just big as fuck. He like about to explode.
It's like he has to fucking go sideways to go through a door, bro.
Like, yeah, I've realized that for sure when I saw Fast 6 for the first time. I'm like, yo, he's like 10 times bigger and stockier than he was in Fast 5. And this was just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not trying to talk bad about The Rock, man. I'm still trying to get The Rock on the show. Like, we need The Rock on the show. I need him to.
I love Ballers. Ballers.
Ballers is fire. I'm not even a big football dude, but it is literally the TV version of Any Given Sunday. They give you everything off the field. Like, you get shit that's on the field, but they dive into the lives, and I love them characters.
Yeah.
That's a fire show,
That,
for sure.
that is a fire show. It is. And I do think that when people say, oh, Rock doesn't show any range, I do feel like in that series he shows just the right amount of range to show that he can actually do this. You know what I mean? So I actually appreciate Ballers because you can actually see Dwayne trying to emote. You know what I mean? Like, you see that. Yeah. And he's trying,
and
I appreciate that.
Like, TV shows are different. Like, you get time to flesh this character out, and you get time to have like character arcs way more than you would have in like a hour and a half, 2-hour movie or something like that. So yeah, I think this new Scorsese movie, I think that might be The Rock's best performance. Scorsese's not going to let him come in and slouch. He will kick that motherfucker off and have him recast.
Dude,
like Scorsese.
There's actually 2 movies that he's doing this year. One with Benny Safdie, where he plays a MMA fighter called The Machine.
Right.
And there was a picture of him. He looked totally unrecognizable, bro. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep.
And then this,
if you squint hard enough, you're like, okay, you can kind of see him in there, but the job they did on the makeup, I'm like, that is fantastic, yo.
It is.
What's that shit called again?
I think it was called The Machine or something like that.
I'm about to just type up The Rock. Like, that should have popped up somewhere. No, I didn't. It didn't. Oh, wait. Yeah, they're giving me everything but this movie. They're giving me San Andreas. What's it called?
It's called The Smashing Machine.
Damn. Yeah, he had to bulk up. Like, look at the title. Comes out this year. Yeah, Benny Safdie, just like you said, he plays Mark Kerr. Emily Blunt's in this. Emily Blunt she
has great chemistry with The Rock.
She's Sue Storm, ain't she? In the new one coming out?
No, that's Vanessa Kirby.
I said Emily Blunt. I don't know how the fuck I got them confused just now. I think they both got accents, so I can get away with that.
Yeah, they're both British, so yeah.
That's my bad, Emily Blunt.
And the redhead, so yeah.
That's my bad, y'all. Emily Blunt, if we had her on the show, she probably would be pissed. I don't know if it was a Q&A or a event or something where somebody asked her about the Fantastic Four casting rumors, and she was just she was kind of fed up with that shit, man. Like,
that shit down quick. I'm like, oh my god, bro.
She was so irritated, man. Like, I would kind of be flattered. Like, well, it depends on what situation, what role it was. I'd be flattered, like, yo, y'all still want me to play this role? That's decent, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it was a bad situation that she just like, look, I don't even want to fucking talk about it. Don't even ask me.
Yeah, she's like, she told her husband too, like, do not play Reed Richards because they're just gonna ask me questions about that. Do not play Reed Richards. And then what's he do? Play Reed Richards.
Oh, she told him that, like in real life?
No. I'm just saying, she probably said that.
I was about to say he probably still sleeping on the couch after that shit because he was in he played him in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I cheered so hard when I saw him as Reed Richards. I'm not gonna lie, like I almost threw my arm out of place because I didn't know if they were gonna do it or not. Like, it was a lot of like rumors, but when he popped up in that portal, that was probably the hypest I got in that whole Doctor Strange movie. The whole movie's a trip, but that was probably like one of the best parts. And when Professor X came out,
yeah, with the X-Men theme underneath it when he comes through, like, oh shit, and the yellow fucking wheelchair. What? Yo,
do you notice, like, it's crazy because I don't think how am I trying to say this? You notice how little by little we are finally getting some comic book accurate X-Men shit. You got Beast, you got Professor X. I know a lot of people had problems with Gambit, but as far as like the get up and them actually trying to give him an accent and shit like that, you get somewhat comic book accurate version of Gambit. I forgot who else it was that they had in this picture of all the comic book accurate. I mean,
Elektra.
If you want to count, which one?
Elektra.
In Deadpool Wolverine? Yeah. Is she really? I mean, I never really got into Elektra. I just like Jennifer Gardner in that outfit. Like, that's it. I just like her. That's it. Like, that first Elektra movie, I was like, all right, I don't know what to expect, but I'll watch it. And I'm like, oh, she looks good in the outfit. And she's cool as Elektra. And that girl that's got the kiss of death is fine. But I'm like, this movie's trash.
Yeah,
that's just garbage. That was like DC, or not DC, Marvel. We was down bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we were
I
really
can,
down
I can
bad.
appreciate the run though. Like I can appreciate the run because we got two Fantastic Four movies. They were ass, but I can appreciate the goofiness. You had the Ghost Rider movies. You had
Ugh, Ghost
what
Rider
else did we
movies.
have? You like the Ghost Rider
No, I
movies?
did not. I didn't like either of them. I thought both of them were fucking terrible. There's
Because
only one Ghost Rider movie that is awesome, and it's called Drive Angry.
oh my god, that
That is
movie is
a
out of
fucking Ghost Rider movie if I ever seen one.
Nicholas Cage was just miscast, man. When that movie came out, I was like, who? Well, I know who he was, but I'm like, hell no, man, absolutely not. I like that. But the second Ghost Rider, I'm sorry, I love that shit as a guilty pleasure. When he's in that construction site and gets in that machine and just turns it into like I don't even know what to even call it, yo. That was like some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. It was the dudes that did Crank. That's why I gave it a chance. I'm like, all right, these dudes that did Crank, so it's going to be zany and wacky and out of control.
Relatively decent, but I don't think it was. I think it was like, man, no,
And
no.
we had what else did we have when we was down bad? We had the Hulk movie, that Ang Lee Hulk movie during that Marvel run.
Yeah, which
That
was like a fucking haiku in live action.
that's so bad, man. I found it on DVD in my closet, and I was like, yeah, you can stay there. I just got a new TV up here too. I was like, nah,
I
I
can't.
don't. This isn't even worthy of the. Yeah, no, nope. There's nothing about that movie that's good. Like none of it. They wasted Nick Nolte. I don't remember. Was it Liv? No, Liv Tyler was in
Was it the
the reboot.
Incredible Hulk?
Jennifer Connelly, and I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't. Listen, no diss to Jennifer Connelly. I think she's an okay actress, but I don't see the whole like love interest and people just Google Gaga over this chick. I just don't understand it. I really don't get it.
you gotta watch her and Creepers.
That Dario Argento shit.
Yeah, you
Is
gotta
that
watch her
that
in
movie?
that.
That's that movie where she's on the front
Yeah,
cover and it's like a trillion bugs. Bro, that poster used to, and I never had the guts to either buy the movie or even like ask my mom to rent it or buy it when I was a kid. But that poster always stuck, and I'm like,
great
she's
poster.
got like a trillion bugs. But it's Argento, so I know it's gonna be weird. Like I know it's gonna be like giallo horror, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, it is so funny too because depending on the version you get, they dub over Jennifer Connelly. It's fucking hilarious.
I'm
It
like,
is
what?
fucking great.
That's
It's awesome.
I don't understand. Like I love Italian horror. Well, I like some Italian horror. I love some Italian horror. I like Argento, but all of his stuff is just not for me. Like, why would you dub over her voice?
Because everyone else was dubbed, so like it'd probably be weird to actually have one American actually talk in their own voice. So
That's
everyone in the movie is dubbed.
that's what it
But it
seemed
just
like they
adds
did
to
in
it.
It seemed like they did that in Demons. Um,
Yeah.
it seemed like they had one person who was American, and now there's a bunch of versions on YouTube where it's just dubbed over all over again. And I'm like, what? I don't understand it. I don't know why people do that, man. Then it's like 16 different Blu-ray releases at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that.
But
Like, stop changing. People, stop changing the fucking audio. Stop changing the musical score. Like that shit. Like when we grew up on certain shit, we know it to be a certain way.
oh, she's also going to make an appearance on my list. Also, totally forgot she was in this movie.
I feel like I know what movie you're good. I'm not even gonna click on it. Matter of fact, let me get the fuck off IMDb right now before I like take a little peek at it. I feel like I know where you're. Are we familiar with this director for more than one movie
Yes.
outside of the one?
Yeah.
Okay, I know which one you talk about. I know because I was scrolling past it. I was looking up our topic earlier, and I was like, all right, I'm not all the way comfortable with this list. Let me look and see if I missed something. And I scrolled past it, and I was like, that's been on my list for like a year and a half now. And I was like, I don't even know if I'm ready to jump into it because I know it's a whole. We'll cross that bridge when we get
We'll
there.
cross that bridge. But yeah, she's definitely going to make an appearance later this episode. That's
So
funny.
movie news. Did you see what I sent you? The Toxic Avenger first look.
Yes, I fucking bursted out laughing, bro. And then I saw your post, I think a day later, said this gives me Power Ranger vibes. Not even Power Rangers movie vibe. Fucking Power Rangers TV
The fucking
vibe, dude.
TV show. Yeah, I know what the fuck I was talking about. I wouldn't even give it the dignity and respect of something out of the movie. That is, and not even, I wouldn't even give it the dignity and respect out of the like that Power Rangers that Netflix special that they did. That was actually decent. They gave it a little bit more money actually, but no, I'm not even giving it grace, bro. I don't like that design. I don't like it at all. I went back and looked at clips from the first movie, and I'm like, okay, this is like sleazy Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees in like the first 4 movies type of thing, and it's passable. Even if it came out in like 84 or something like that, I'm like, this is still passable in comparison to the shit that they just showed us. We waited like 2 years for this.
Mm-hmm.
It looks terrible. It looks terrible, yo. It looks awful. It looks really bad.
I don't even know where to begin, bro, because like one of the pictures that they showed us was we know why he was in the shadows with that first picture.
Honestly, he looked cool in that shot. I'm like, all right, is Peter Dinklage? Like, we'll have to adjust to the height. That's fine. Whatever he lacks in height, he definitely makes it up with his acting performances every fucking time. I don't care about his height at the end of the day. But the mop stick was glowing. It was smoking. No matter how much I zoomed in, you cannot see his face. And I'm like, okay, that's a nice tease. You don't get much of him in that teaser trailer either.
Yeah.
But to make us wait that long for that, that's disrespectful, Macon Blair. And I like you, Macon Blair. I do. I like Macon Blair a lot. I like his movies. I like. I don't feel at home in this world anymore. It's one of my favorite movies. After the first time I watched it, I love that movie. I love that movie. He's a great director, yo. But this shit. And I'm telling myself, maybe in live action it'll be better, but it looks bad, bro. It looks really fucking bad, and I was so fucking pissed off about it.
Yeah, it just looks like a fucking roided up mini Hulk Hogan, bro.
Yeah, like in costume, in a terrible costume. It looks bad.
Yeah, now I'm like, and this is like no slight to them, but now I'm like, shit, this is probably why they had a hard time finding distribution for 2 fucking years, because they couldn't sell it.
Studios were like, you want us to what? Like they probably was just laughing about The Office.
Like,
they probably was just laughing about it each office. Yeah.
This is almost as bad as Johnny and In a Violent Nature, bro. This is almost as bad as that. Looking like he came out of the fucking spirit store.
I don't even remember what that motherfucker looked like without that mask on. Let me look it up.
No,
I didn't even like the movie stuff.
He had the fucking the gas mask, the miner's mask, with like I think a onesie, like one of those miner's onesies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't remember. Like, In a Violent Nature, somebody was just talking about that, and I'm like, yeah, I can appreciate the attempt. Oh, this is something new, but I'm like, this is one of the most overrated, boring fucking movies I've ever seen. And it's crazy because it's got one of the best kills I've ever seen, ever. People, if you have not seen In a Violent Nature, the only reason I would recommend it, like, if you want to follow a movie through the killer's POV, literally throughout the whole fucking movie, then you take that risk. But this movie has one of the best kills in any slasher movie, like of all time. Like if there was a top 25 kills of all time in slasher movies, this shit is on there.
Yeah, it'd be on there. I think it'd be top 10, honestly. I think it'd be top 10. Just because of the practical effects that went into it, I think
I might not disagree with you. I might not disagree with you because just like everybody kept talking about the yoga kill. And when I finally caved in and watched it, I was just like, I was still bored, but I'm like, I thought it was gonna be over. Like I thought he was gonna like just stab her and then maybe drop her off the cliff, but no. That kill is like insult to injury. It's like, bro, she's dead already. Like you don't even need to do all this shit.
So you don't even need to pull out her fucking spine and then take her fucking head. Like what the fuck, bro?
God. Yeah, that you might that's another episode. We need to jot that down somewhere. We need to do like top 10 kills of all like slasher movies of all time, yo.
Oh,
like,
that'd be fun. Oh, that'd be fun.
That's gonna be tough because Jason's got like 9 of them on my list. Like I'm not even gonna fucking hold you, yo.
I
Like
think Jason
Jason's up
has at
there.
least 3. Freddie might have 2. Art might
Mm.
have 2. Candyman
Yo, Art.
might
Oh,
have 1. Actually, no, he might have 2, but in two movies though. So
I'm not gonna lie, yo. Leatherface might have one on my list from the 2022 movie, the Netflix movie.
but the where he kills where he kills Marilyn and just chucks it into the trash.
Oh no, not that. But that was well deserved though. That was definitely well deserved. I was like, I can't wait for him to kill her because she is the worst thing about this movie. I'm talking about when they were in the van and he's trying to fix the oxygen tank and the
Yeah,
cop grabs his hand. He's like, hey, I shouted out loud when that shit happened. So I don't know. Leatherface might have one on there. I agree. Art might have 2. That would be a rough list, yo.
it would be. We would have to
Mm.
look up like general lists and then just kind of go off that and then go to like marquee movies and see. Because I know Candyman would have one. And part 2, I think it's the opening death in part 2 in Candyman, where he kills the professor in the
Oh, in the
bathroom.
bathroom. Yeah,
Yeah.
that piece of shit. I hated that guy. I couldn't stand that guy. I think it's the anniversary. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I think it was recently the anniversary of Farewell to the Flesh. That's underrated, man. That movie does not get enough love. It's not as good as the first one, but it's a damn good. It's like one of those Pet Cemetery 2 moments where it doesn't really have any business being as good as it is.
It's actually today. It's today.
What
The
the
anniversary.
anniversary?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
man,
today.
that shit's good. And Kelly Rowan is great in that movie, man. Veronica Cartwright's in there. She's already horror royalty. For real, for real. Oh,
I
and
totally
did you see?
forgot Bill Nunn was in this movie
Yep. He was
with the
he
Reverend.
was the dad. Yeah, he was the reverend. His son was the one that was in Kelly Rowan's class that went missing. And his goofy ass wanted to he kept drawing pictures of Candyman and shit. And he went off looking for him like a dumbass. Like, I'm just like, all right, you might earn whatever fate is coming to you, sir. Did you see the Mortal Kombat 2 first look?
Yes, I saw that. Shao Kahn looked tough, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Shao Kahn looked kind of tough. Like that shit looked hard. Like I'm not even gonna lie. That shit looked pretty hard. Looked way
Demonic.
better than Annihilation.
Yes. And motherfuckers is talk like this is my thing, bro. Like we can appreciate the fact that we are getting the Shao Kahn we were promised at the end of that first Mortal Kombat movie. You remember when he popped up in the sky and
Yeah.
his voice was all distorted and he looked like a monster. He looked like a monster and it was like, holy shit, like we gonna have our work cut out for us. And then you get to Annihilation and it's Brian Thompson, the motherfucker from one of the punks from Terminator in the beginning of Terminator. I'm just like, for real? Like, and you just like he just looked normal. He just a regular. He looked like a regular guy. But I'm like, Martin Ford is huge. That's the guy that was the henchman in Fast 9, the one that John Cena was fighting on top of the armored bus.
Oh,
That guy is
no
huge.
shit. Really? That's
Yeah,
him?
that's Martin Ford, yo. That's the same guy that John Cena was fighting in Fast 9, and he is a bruiser. And they had footage of him training. I think it was him training with the big mallet that Shao Kahn uses. And he looked like he was doing the work, man. And we're finally getting Shao Kahn. And somebody, I said he looked monstrous. And somebody in the comments on Facebook, we ain't even going to take the time out to even acknowledge who it actually the fuck was on the show. We're not going to give you that
Fucking
type of
hater.
10 seconds.
That's who that was. That was a fucking
Yeah,
hater.
we're not going to give you that 10 seconds of fame at all. But the guy was like, he was like monstrous. The guy's got a big smile on his face. And I'm like, yeah, but everybody will just find something to complain about either way. You can make them spot on from the game, and people will still find something to complain about.
I
Katana
love the chrome
looks.
design though. Like the chrome design of the mask looks fucking awesome.
Have you seen Katana?
Yes, I saw Katana, and I was like, oh, okay,
Princess
okay.
of Edenia, man. They got the Princess of Edenia, right? Nothing against Talisa Soto. Like, she wasn't a bad Katana. She just talked too fucking much. Like, you're a damsel in distress at this point. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I like Talisa Soto though. She's still bad. I think her and Benjamin Bratt are still married. They've been married like for generations.
Yeah.
But they did not. That was not Katana. This one, and I'm wondering, like, is she going to put on that mask when she's battling? Is she going to keep the mask off throughout the whole thing? I'm not sure.
And
But
Rudolph, where is she from?
She was in, I think it was a TV show she was in. I know it was some movie she was in, and I want to figure it out before I even look it up.
Oh, she was in your favorite movie last year, bro. Hellboy, the Crooked Man.
That's what she was in. She was the main girl that was rocking out with Hellboy. She was basically his, like his little sidekick and shit. And she was doing a lot of complaining in that movie. But if you watch that movie, you can see why she's bitching. Like there's some you haven't watched it yet, right?
No, I haven't watched it yet. But you're right, though. She was in a TV show, and she was in Resident Evil. She played Billy Wesker.
Ooh, that doesn't really. I mean, that doesn't do it any favors. But that Resident Evil, that series,
That series got better. I don't know. I will say I do think that series got better as the show went on. Like by episode 4, I felt like it really hit its stride because it really figured out what it wanted to be.
It wasn't bad, but what they did to Wesker, I was riding with it. I said, "Oh, Lance Reddick." This was before he passed away. I was like, "I love this actor." But if you making Wesker black just to make him black, don't do that. Like I'm not that person, man. I'm not that fan that's just gonna be a fanboy and accept it. I'm like, if the story's cool and what you're doing with the character is cool, that's fine. But y'all couldn't even really get white Wesker right. So why are y'all even jumping the gun and just race swapping? I'm like, Wesker in the last couple Resident Evil movies was okay, but he was just a block of wood. Like they did. I mean, I don't know if that's how he's supposed to be in the games. He looked like Wesker.
He has personality and he's very menacing, like within those games. Code Veronica, Resident Evil 5. I think he was in 6. He has a lot of personality, and yet for whatever fucking reason, they just can't write him very well. I don't know why.
He's written terribly. Even when they put him in part 3, remember in part 3, he was just like a board member. He was just sitting at the table. I don't remember if he was a hologram, but he wasn't in a lot of scenes. But it was a different actor. Yeah. And I'm like, y'all can't seem to get him right. Like Wesker is why I quit Resident Evil games, bro. Like Code Veronica, when he popped up and he was like teleporting and he had them glasses and his eyes were red. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this shit. Like he was a regular dude in the first game. Now you now you plugged up in the Matrix. I'm good.
Took the T virus or the S virus.
Yeah, I'm cool. Now it was cool. As shitty as Resident Evil Afterlife is, that scene where he was whooping Claire and Chris's ass at the same time, and he was teleporting and dodging bullets, I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. I'm not even gonna lie, it's kind of decent.
So before we buried the lead because this was actually a hot take of ours a couple years back, and we got a lot of flack for it on TikTok.
We sure
Johnny
did.
Cage.
I know where you're going.
Johnny Cage, front and center right here. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm still not really sold. Sold.
I don't know. I would have to see him perform, but I don't know. This picture right here, man, they showed is just okay. At least they dialed down the frosted tips, though. So there's that.
I'm telling myself with this picture of Johnny Cage, like, look at his stance, bro. I'm telling myself that this is a moment where it's humor. This is a moment where he's going to try to put himself on the front line. If you looking back at him, they kind of crop it out. There's people with weapons behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Just look, there's people behind them. So I don't know if they're surrounded and Johnny Cage thinks he's going to, I don't know, save the day, and then way more goons show up. Like, you see how Jax and Sonya and Liu Kang are just in the background chilling. I think it's going to be a moment of humor. If he can pull off Johnny Cage's personality, like, yeah, I'm going to eat my words. I'm going to find that person on TikTok that was coming at our necks, and I'm going to be like, listen, you were right. Like, Johnny Cage is dope in this movie, but I'm just not sold on this shit yet. I'm not. I want this trailer so fucking bad.
Is there a release date in this article yet? Did they give us a release date?
A release date? Fuck. I just had. Why do I want to lie and say the release date is September? Let me see.
October 24th.
Mm-hmm. Kind of in time for Halloween.
So if we got these photos today, so realistically, I do think we probably get a trailer April. We'll get a teaser April.
I hope so, man. Like, I'm I want this to be amazing. Like I know the only thing is there's so many characters in here. I'm not accepting that shit. Like when they brought in Reiko just to make him a brute and kill him off and not have nothing to him, that's corny. When you bring in Nitara and not do nothing with her, like that's corny. You bring in Reptile just to kill him in one scene, and he's like, I would have rather they kept him around and he turned into ninja form. But I don't know. It would have been less money if they would have had him in human form at some point. But they had him in fucking, like Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance mode where he's just full blown Reptile. But this shit has a lot. It has so many characters in it. That's gonna be tricky. Quan Chi is in this shit.
Okay, so Ed Boon says about Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. His integration in the Mortal Kombat story and the universe is a big part of the movie. He's a washed-up Hollywood guy thrown into the magical, ultra-violent thing. Carl, his depiction of Johnny Cage is different than our games in some ways. He's adding his own flair to it, but I feel like it'll be fresh. There's a novelty factor in there. So I wonder if they're going to lean into the fact that Johnny Cage is just like a fake-ass movie star, like a fake-ass action star. Like he thinks he can fight, but really can't fight, and gets his ass beat throughout the whole entire movie.
Who's
to me? That would be perfect. That would be perfect. Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat.
I think that was Ed Boon's way of saying, look, Carl Urban was expensive to get on this movie, so we just let him do whatever the fuck he wanted to. Y'all might be pissed off at this. There was screenings, and I don't know how much y'all know how this is. We don't know how much truth it is to a lot of this shit. But there were rumors that the screening happened, and there were a lot of people complaining because they said too much of the story centered on Johnny Cage and Katana. And I'm kind of cool with that. Like if you balance it out and spread it out a little bit, I'm cool. But if that's true, like making him and Katana the main points of the movie is kind of weird.
Let me ask you this. Would you rather have Johnny Cage and Katana, or would you rather have Cole Tan and Katana?
He called that motherfucker Cold Tan. You mix the actor's name with the character's name. I'm like, oh, that's a new one. Cold Tan.
Cole Young.
Wait, you said Cold Tan and who else? Yeah, he called that boy Cold Tan. Yeah, that's fire though. That. But wait, you said him and who else?
Katana.
No, I wouldn't like that because if you're gonna pair somebody with Katana's story, make it Liu Kang. Like if we're going that route, like that's the love interest or whatever the fuck they were trying to do with that. Like just do that a thing. And I hope they give Liu Kang more to do because he was kind of like reduced in the last movie, man. Like Liu Kang is the poster child. Yeah, he's the poster child for Mortal Kombat. Like let's keep it a bean. Well, actually, that's debatable. Some people might say Scorpion. I think Liu Kang started off as the poster child, but I guess Scorpion and Sub-Zero became like really
more popular
characters
because they're much more iconic. Yep. They have much more of an iconic look.
Exactly. But Ludi Lin was perfect casting for Liu Kang, man. And Kung Lao's supposed to be coming back. I want to see how they do that because he got his fucking soul taken.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Like I don't know. And Sub-Zero's supposed to become Noob Saibot. I mean, these are all rumors.
Well, no. Well, that is, I think in part. I think if I remember correctly,
is that part of the game lore? Because I don't know. Like I fell off the story at some point, so I didn't even know that motherfucker became Noob Saibot. Who knows what they could do? Whatever they want. They had Noob Saibot come out of Ermac's chest in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. You remember that shit?
Yeah.
When because he couldn't beat Sonya 1-on-1. He was getting his ass kicked, and Noob Saibot just appeared out of his chest.
It looks like the cast here is like we got Sindel, Baraka, Shang Tsung, Kano's coming back.
Mm-hmm. He got to. They scratched him on his eye for a reason.
Let's see who else. Jade.
Yes, she is.
Shit.
Tati Gabriel or something like that. That girl.
Gabriella.
Yeah. The actress looks like she could probably be Jade and maybe be like I think that's her and Melina. I don't think Jade is related to Melina and Katana. I don't know if I don't think Melina's coming back either. That's another character they wasted.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave her more to. They gave her more to do than they
Honestly, they
did.
wasted. Oh my God, what was his fucking name?
Cabal.
The dude with the gas mask with the
Cabal.
yeah, Cabal.
One of my favorite characters of all fucking time, and I mean, I'm glad
He
that
had
he
a great
showed
fight
up.
scene. He had a
Yeah,
great fight scene, but
I'm glad he showed up, but I'm like, Cabal is like one of the dopest characters ever, and you didn't really do him too much justice. Yeah, they did waste a lot of characters in this movie, so I'm hoping like you add more characters, you throw in more more pieces into the juggling act. Cool, like let's see if you can pull it off. Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot. Quan Chi's in there. I forgot who the fuck else.
Sindel. And we got Raiden.
They got to do Sindel justice too. That's like Sindel got me through a lot of Mortal Kombat 3 days of stress. So they got to do her right. And I'm wondering how they're going to do this whole dynamic with Jade. Like Sindel and Shao Kahn got to be like side by side because they're like companions. But I'm wondering how they're going to have Sindel and Katana as mother and daughter. How you going to throw Jade into the mix? How do you throw Quan Chi into the mix? He was supposed to be in Annihilation, and they took his scene out. Like, they had an actor suit up and everything, and they just took the scene out of it.
So Jade is actually a childhood friend of Katana.
All right. All right. I feel like she'll be a neutral character. Like, we might not know if she's good or bad, so that might be up in the air, which I'm cool.
So in the video game lore, she actually supports Jade's rebellion of Shao Kahn.
Okay. Yeah, they got to overthrow this motherfucker at some point. And I swear, if all these characters in this movie work, first of all, Baraka, I will not accept anything other than a 10 out of 10 character. That's the one character where I'm like, all right, no exceptions. If y'all fuck this up,
Rebirth is the only one that actually did that one justice, bro. The Rebirth was the only one that did that justice. That was fucking amazing, bro.
That was like a horror movie version of Baraka. You talking about when he was like the plastic surgeon going mad? Yo, he put his own blades in his arms, yo. That Baraka was scary as shit. That whole Rebirth thing was going places. Like, I like what they did with Baraka. I love what they did. Like, Reptile was born with like a skin disorder, and his eyes were inside out, and his skin was like scaly. He was hiding heads in his refrigerator. That's what we could have used back in the day, but it's cool.
I know.
I ain't gonna complain about it.
Warner Brothers being haters, bro.
It's all good. No worries. No worries. Oh, before I forget, another bit of movie news. I need your honest fucking thoughts on this, because this shit caught me off guard, and I'm like, as far as who's behind it, yeah, but what are we doing differently with it? There is a remake of Starship Troopers coming.
Yes.
Directed by Neil Blomkamp, the man who just can't leave sci-fi alone, and sometimes his projects don't fall through. I'm not saying no names, Alien 5 and RoboCop Returns.
Ridley Scott, fucking asshole.
I'm not saying no names, Alien 5, because Ridley Scott bullied him out of it. I'm not even going to say that on our show. I would never say anything like Ridley Scott bullied him out of that movie and it was complete bullshit. I would never say that. I would never say that.
Well, it's a good thing you would never say that.
Would never fucking say that.
Never say that.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened when RoboCop Returns, but when he was announced and it was a direct sequel to the first one, I was like, yeah, yes.
Ooh, I never heard that. I never heard about that.
Oh, yeah. He was signed on, I don't know, it wasn't long, but he was signed on at some point to do RoboCop Returns. It was going to be a direct sequel, I believe, to either the first or the second movie. And I was hyped. I said, this shit, let's get gritty again. Let's get to that dirty, Paul Verhoeven satire kind of shit. And it was going to be a good time. For everybody that didn't like the RoboCop reboot, I think they probably were going to get redeemed if Neil Blomkamp handled that property. But I don't know what went.
This was like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fairly recent. And the news didn't really like last too long. It was like in development. He was signed on to do it, and then the next thing you know, they were like, "Yeah, it's not happening." And I'm like, "What is the deal with people not letting him get his movies made, yo. And it's always a movie for an existing property. And I never understood that shit. Like why he didn't do RoboCop. Crazy, man.
Bro, they're actually trying to make a TV series. This was actually last month at the Saturn Awards, and Peter Weller has said that he was actually thinking about doing a RoboCop TV show for MGM Studios.
And and the OG said that. Maybe it still could happen. I think a series could be decent, but it's got to be TVMA or just unrated or whatever the fuck. Like don't put any restrictions as far as the content. Like don't water it down for kids. Don't do that. Like that's not what RoboCop really was. That's one of the reasons why Part 3 didn't really work.
So James Wan's Atomic Monster production is actually back in the reboot. Peter Oko, whose credits include Lodge 48, Moon Heaven, and collaborations with Brian Fuller, who also did the Hannibal TV show, is suggesting a fresh take with original premise, leaving room for Weller's involvement. Shit.
Is that just behind the scenes, or like is Peter Weller going to make a cameo as like old man RoboCop or some shit? Like I don't know.
No. He said that they're definitely going to have. They definitely want Weller on board, and the series is actually in development right now.
Yeah, I will watch it. I remember I think Tubi's got the series, the old school series, the RoboCop TV show.
Yeah, the one
somewhere
that aired on UPN.
Yeah,
Saturday nights at 8 p.m.
I remember the show. I don't remember committing to it though. Not even back in the day. And I used to fucks with RoboCop. I used to fuck with him. Like it was cool. Like, but 3 was just like that's where I was just like, all right, man.
3 was awful, man. 3 was awful.
I wanted to like
with
it.
the cyborg ninjas.
I was a kid, so I guess I thought the ninjas were cool. There was that moment where his jaw was like he had to shift his jaw back and forth. I was like, this is cool. But they killed Nancy Allen in the first 10 minutes of the movie. I'm like, fuck y'all. I'm not even emotionally invested anymore at this point. They killed her off, and I don't know if that was her decision or if the studio just did some stupid shit.
No, that was her. That was her decision because she didn't like the script. She fucking hated the script. Like, yeah, I don't want to be part of this movie. But they had her under contract, so they had her under contract. So she was like, she had to do it. Weller got out of his contract, and she didn't want to do it without him. And then she read the script. She's like, I definitely don't want to do this bullshit. Just kill me off. I don't give a fuck.
It's making more sense because I almost forgot that it was a different guy in RoboCop 3. It was a dude from Thinner.
Yep.
I was just watching Thinner. Thinner was on Tubi. I was like, let me try to get in my Stephen King bag. And I forgot they really had my man in a fat suit in Thinner. And it's not terrible, but it's like, it's kind of goofy when you go back and watch it. That's another Stephen King movie that could use a remake.
I still defend that movie because I still think that the practical effects in that movie are so fucking great, good, though. They're so good. The makeup.
That scene where his homie pulls up. His homie pulls up, and you can see his skin falling off as he pulls up to like rescue him when he's having that dream sequence. Yeah, the effects, the practical effects in that shit are top notch. I don't know who they got to do it. I don't know if it was KMB or
I think that was Stan Winston that did it.
I wouldn't be surprised because the practical effects are cool. I think Thinner, like it doesn't age too bad. Like it's just the fat suit is noticeable as the movie like goes on, but that movie doesn't age as bad as a lot of Stephen King movies do. Like if you watch like Children of the Corn or Sleepwalkers, a lot of that shit don't age well.
Oh, so it was Grave Cannon, and he's the guy that's worked on The Mask, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay.
And Titanic. So, yeah.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah. There's this guy. And I didn't realize that this was a Tom Holland movie.
Thinner?
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a Tom Holland movie.
Not like Child's Play, Tom Holland?
Yeah,
He did Fright Night too, right?
Yeah.
Yo, I did not know Tom Holland did Thinner. I didn't even bother looking at the director when I watched it.
Fucking, he did the Langoliers too. He directed the Langoliers. Don't tell me he directed the Langoliers. He directed the Langoliers. Oh my god. Oh, like, he must be fucking kicking himself right now, dude.
You talk about some Stephen King shit not holding up well. Listen, we can't really talk about the movies when you look back on how the miniseries holds up. God damn, bruh. I like the Langoliers. That shit holds up like spoiled milk.
Yeah.
That shit. The Tommy Knockers. I went back and watched the Tommy Knockers thinking it was going to be as creepy as it was when I was a kid. That shit holds up awful. The acting is terrible in the Tommy Knockers, and it makes no sense because the cast is amazing.
The Tommy Knockers. You know, I never watched the Tommy Knockers.
Like, story-wise, I got the book over there. I want to read the book, but I'm still trying to make it through The Shining. But the story is kind of cool because it's the small town, and this shit just pops up in the middle of the woods, and it's just drawing the townspeople farther and farther to it. It's like an alien force that's taking over the town. But they keep going into the woods to dig up this. I don't remember if it's the spaceship or a part of the spaceship or the artifact or something, but it's glowing green. It's got everybody's eyes turning green, everybody's teeth falling out, and they're all underfoot of this alien force in the town. Like, the concept is dope. And James Wan was supposed to he was behind the remake a couple years back, actually a bunch of years back. I don't know what happened. But I said James Wan would be perfect to do the Tommy Knockers over again. He was halfway there when he had Yahya Abdul-Mateen's eyes kept going green in Aquaman 2. That's the Tommy Knockers. The eyes go green, and they're just like they're not zombified, but they're evil.
You know what? Like, don't forgive me, because this is gonna sound really ignorant, but I was confused as fucking poster with Troll 2.
Damn.
Because
the movie's not
they both had green.
Yeah,
and I swear, like, I could have sworn like I rented the Tommy Knockers, but I probably rented Troll 2 instead.
All right. In the defense of the Tommy Knockers, I take back what I said entirely. In the defense of the Tommy Knockers, it ain't Troll 2. It ain't that. And I used to like Troll 2 when I was a kid because I didn't know no better. I didn't know no better. I used to like the witch that she let her hair down and she looked all cool, and she was like making out with the dude, and then all that popcorn popped up all over the place. But Troll 2
green popcorn.
Troll 2 is like Tommy Knockers is it's a Scorsese movie in comparison. Troll 2 is terrible.
Yeah, this movie's fucking insane. Like, I remember watching Troll 2, like, I think I was 8 years old, and, like, thinking that the witch scared the shit out of me just because of her teeth were all fucked up. I'm like, oh my god.
Then you watch it in modern day, and it's like it's a whole different experience.
Yeah, it's a different thing. It's a whole
that's
thing.
something that could go for a remake too. Like, remake all the bad shit, like, and make Troll like a horror movie. Like, I want to say, I know a lot of people gonna hate me for this. I want to say, like, make Troll 2 kind of like Leprechaun Origins, where these motherfuckers are creatures that will kill you and tear you limb from limb.
I don't know, man. I think it's really kind of hard to make a troll evil. I mean, not evil. No, scratch that. Kill. Because I don't think that's in a troll's nature, right?
I mean, it depends on who you have directed. Like, if you have, like, somebody like Ari Aster direct a Troll reboot, they're going to kill motherfuckers, and they're going to the build up to it is going to be the most uncomfortable thing ever. Or have Rob Zombie remake Troll.
Yes, with Sherry Moon Zombie as the witch.
Yep. There you go. Rob Zombie.
There it is.
Holla at us, man.
Yep.
Come on, man. We know what we doing over here. Sherry Moon Zombie. Listen, she would probably have to dye her hair black, but I'm cool with that. Look, I like Sherry Moon Zombie on screen. I don't complain a fucking bit. Like, I know people hate it, but it's like Rob Zombie's the punk rock Paul W.S. Anderson. He's going to put his wife in all his movies. What's the name? Does the same thing. Paul Feige or Paul Feig. He puts Melissa McCarthy in all his movies.
Oh, and so does Tim Burton.
Tim Burton puts his wife in all
Carter.
I didn't know. At first, I did not know that was his wife, and I'm like, I like it. It makes sense. You both are dark, both are weird, and you're fucking made for each other, man. I love it. Just keep putting her in movies. She was a freak in Dark Shadows. Did you see Dark Shadows?
I stopped watching Burton movies after Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That doesn't even feel like a Tim Burton movie to me.
No,
My
it
daughter
doesn't.
loves it. I
Doesn't.
would not have watched it through and through unless my daughter didn't want to watch it. And it's a weird movie, man. Like it's very weird, and it just doesn't feel like a Tim Burton movie. Like Dark Shadows kind of feels like a Tim Burton movie in modern day. Like it's got this kind of like not Beetlejuice aesthetic to it, but it's got kind of like a Sleepy Hollow type of thing going on. But it's funny as fuck.
The
Yo.
fact that
It's
it's made
hilarious.
off of an old '80s TV show does not help its case either.
Oh no, that
Pixel Game Truck says the remake of the Wraith would be cool. I'm a car guy and a Supernatural fan.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
I,
Oh, I'm not
Pixel
mad at
game
that.
people have to
I'm
forgive
not
me.
mad at
I've
that.
never y'all gonna have to forgive me. I've never seen it. Is that
Never
the
seen
one
the
where?
Wraith? With
Is
me
that the
and
one with
Sam?
the car? The car and the guy on the front cover looks like he's a spaceman and he's holding like a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you told me you recommended that movie to me like a
Yes,
bunch of episodes
that is the
ago.
Supernatural Fast and Furious, bro.
Get the fuck out of here!
Swear to
Like don't.
God. I swear to God, it is a Supernatural Fast and Furious. It is the first one if Brian O'Connor was a ghost.
Charlie Sheen is in this.
Yes. Randy Quaid plays the sheriff. Mira Sarah's in it. Dude, the Wraith is fucking great, bro.
Clint Howard's in this.
Yeah.
Clint Howard's in every fucking thing, so I don't even know why I was surprised. Clint Howard probably was on this show at one point in time, and we just didn't even realize it. He's in everything. You said this is you're not about to try to sell me like that.
Yes,
like this is a supernatural Fast and Furious.
Even see, Pixel Game Truck backs me up on that.
Yo.
And it's Sharon.
Charlie Sheen is young
Sharon
in this trailer, man. Charlie Sheen looks like he's like 12 in this trailer.
Yeah, I think he was 18 when this movie came out.
See where y'all are going with this, because the moment those two cars were racing side by side on the highway, I thought of Fast Six, the opening for Fast Six, where Dom and Brian are. Damn, Randy Quaid is young in this shit too, man. What is this, like post-apocalyptic?
No, this takes place in the 80s, bro.
They down bad. I don't know what fucking neighborhood they supposed to live in.
They're in New Mexico, outside of the capital. So it's like a little small rural town outside of New Mexico.
This movie looks like a product of its time, yo. Like the wardrobe is insane in this trailer.
Dude. Oh, wait, what was it? It was Nick Cassavetes plays the bad guy, and he's fucking amazing in it. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. This movie is PG-13, and they show full frontal nudity. It's crazy.
It was a different time, man. This looks insane.
It is, dude. I'm telling you.
I love the logo though in the trailer. That logo is fire.
Costume design was thumbs up, right? Especially the all leather with the biker helmet, dude.
And that's why I asked what year did this, or like when did it take place, and was it post-apocalyptic? Because at one point in the trailer, in some points in the trailer, it looks like fucking Class of 1999. Like you remember that movie? How run down they made, like they made 99 look like the end of the world. That was
This movie takes place in 1986, bro. So it's fucking amazing.
Charlie Sheen, man, he was doing his thing back in the day. All right, I might have to bookmark this. This is going to be a time. I already know it.
It's fun, bro. It's like 90 minutes of fun.
A road racing gang of motorheads is what this shit says. Let me see who this dude is that did it. Mike Marvin. If I've ever seen any other shit he's done.
Damn. He's done some shit, bro. Literally.
Yeah, I've always heard of Hamburger.
No, he
Yeah,
didn't do
I don't
it.
know.
I don't know.
Directing wise, I haven't seen shit that he's done.
Yeah, Wraith was I don't think he directed the Wraith though.
They just slapped his name on it. Oh, he wrote one episode of one of your favorite TV shows from back in the day, Silk Stalkings. He wrote one episode of Silk Stalkings, bro.
Yes. Yes. See, I knew I liked that movie
Love it,
for a reason.
man. Love it. That shit, yo. When you said that shit, I think we was talking about like old, mature, like erotic TV shows and movies from back in the day. And when you
Yeah.
when you said Silk Stalking, I automatically remembered that shit from USA. And we had no business watching it back in the day,
Came
yo.
on right after Monday Night Raw.
Silk Stalkings, yo. They gonna remake that shit too. They gonna remake all of that.
Pixel Game Truck says Charlie's brother Amelia came out in Maximum Overdrive 2 around the same time.
Oh, they were in competition. I like Maximum Overdrive. Oh, that's Butters. I was looking at the comment. He said good morning, but I think he's in like I don't know if he's still in Dublin, bro. He's in like Ireland, I think still. It's a whole different world over there. Was good though. Was good everybody.
So yeah, I think he did direct a movie. I don't know. For some reason, I thought there was behind the scenes turmoil with this. But yeah, honestly, dude, The Wraith, gotta watch it. It's an amazing movie.
Bookmark this shit, man. I think I might be alright. Like if I made it through The Car, the 1970s movie. I don't know if it was James Brolin that was in that shit or whoever. If I made it through that, which I actually liked, that movie was way better than it had any business being.
Was that the one with Stacey Peach?
The Car. I think you might be thinking of Duel.
Oh, it's Ronnie.
Wait, let me see.
Cox.
The Car. 19.
It's Ronnie Cox.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Yeah. It was James Brolin that was in The Car. The Car. That shit was actually decent. There's that scene. Have you ever seen that?
From what year? 1977.
77, man. There's a scene in that movie where the wife, the car's got this really familiar sounding horn throughout the course of the movie. So when you hear that horn, you know more than likely that shit's coming through and you're probably going to die. There is a scene. It's one of the best executed scenes I've ever seen, and it's just her walking into frame on the phone talking to her husband, and she's like, honey, I'm scared. You left me in here all alone. She's like, I think I can hear that car horn or the car engine. And in the background of her living room window, you see that car coming from like miles away, but all you see is the headlights and the camera's just still going, and that shit is just getting closer and closer. But she's so stupid. Like, I felt bad that she died, but she's on the phone like, yeah, the horn sounds like it's getting closer, honey. I'm really scared, honey. I think it's right by, like, I think the horn is right outside. That car is right outside. And the whole time, this shit is just going right towards the living room window, and that shit just drives through the house and kills her.
Oh my God,
hilarious.
I just saw a clip for that. That's where that's from?
That is from The Car. That is the movie.
It takes place at night, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I just literally saw that clip on TikTok right before we got on.
No bullshit, bro. That is from The Car, yo. That is my favorite part of that movie because she's so dumb about it. Like, she's on the phone with that's James Brolin's wife. And she's like, honey, I think the car is around the neighborhood somewhere. It sounds really close. And this shit is right behind her, yo. It's hilarious. It is hilarious.
Right through the fucking
right through it. And James Brolin from that point on is beef. Like, he's like, yo, I'm going to get this. I don't know who's driving this car. And there's nobody in it. Nobody in there. It's just it's a possessed demonic car. Nobody knows where it's from.
Watching that tonight. Yes.
Bro, it's hilarious. It's 70s acting at its finest because nobody's really slumming through it. It's kind of like if you go back and watch Kingdom of the Spiders or something like that, where they're taking it seriously. Like, it's goofy, but they're taking it seriously. This is before Christine, to be honest, and I'm like, all right, I might like this more than Christine. Like, I can't give Christine a
I've still never seen Christine. Still never seen Christine.
It's all right. It's nothing. Listen, it's self-driving cars out here now. So watching Christine now is kind of tame. Like the score is great. The score is amazing. John Carpenter bodied that score, but it's just the car is possessed, and the guy, he's so obsessed with the car and in love with the car, he even starts to make a transformation. Like he goes from like this mousy geeky guy to the cool guy who's trying to slick his hair back and take the girl out on a date that his friend likes. And I'm like I guess whatever. Like it's just, but the car gets revenge on his bullies and anybody that basically stands in the way of the car and him. And it's okay, but I'm like, people that say this is one of John Carpenter's best. I'm like, no, it's not.
I always feel John Carpenter is better when he can do his own material. I mean, if you look at movies like Village of the Damned and Memoirs of the Invisible Man, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like those are not Carpenter-esque movies. Those don't speak from Carpenter's heart. You know what I mean?
Village of the Damned was heartbreaking. I remember I finally decided to watch it as an adult. It blew by me as a kid, and I just didn't remember shit but the ending with the brick wall. And I watched it years ago, man, on TV, and I was just like bored out of my mind with that shit, man. I just couldn't take it, and I almost didn't even make it through it. And I'm like, again, this is like the Tommyknockers, where this cast is stacked from top to bottom. You had Christopher Reeves and Kirstie Alley and Mark Hamill. And what's the guy who just passed away? Peter Jason, who was in a bunch of John Carpenter movies. Like, this cast is amazing, but the movie is boring.
It is.
Fuck.
It is. The Simpsons did a better version of that.
Oh, the Simpsons spoofed that?
Yeah, Simpsons spoofed that in 93, 94. When when Homer and his friends get so drunk and they thrash the school, they blame the kids and put all the kids on curfew. So at 5 p.m., all the kids have to be on lockdown. The kids rebel, and they start revealing, like, town secrets about the town folks. And they're just like, what the fuck? It's great.
Oh, I forgot the little young boy. The main kid in here, the main boy, he was in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. And he played John Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Oh, Thomas Dekker.
Thomas Dekker, yeah. Who made a better John Connor than Nick Stahl, by the way. Fuck that guy. I mean, nothing against the actor, but that character, like, come on, dog. You should have just bowed out. Like, yeah, nah, I don't want to. There's too much pressure. I don't want to play John Connor. They probably paid him handsomely, though. So I ain't mad at you, Nick Stahl. I would have played John Connor. I don't give a fuck about the uproar. They would have been like, John Connor's black? Yeah.
In this timeline, he is.
Yeah, in this timeline, John Connor's black. They show me. Listen, if Paramount Pictures show me that check, we want you to play John Connor in an alternate timeline. When? I'm there. I don't give a fuck about the uproar and the death threats they gonna DM me. I don't care.
Right now.
I know this movie's gonna flop. Just pay me for being in it, and let me get the royalties when it comes on Tubi.
Seriously.
Yeah, let me get all that shit from Terminator 8. I'll be in that shit. I don't even think we're going to get that far unless we reboot the series. James Cameron's like, man, I got a great idea for Terminator 7. It's like, stop.
Nope.
Stop it.
Nope.
It's like Ridley Scott with the Alien franchise. I respect you motherfuckers. For sure. Y'all are pioneers. But get the fuck away from it. It's time. Just get away. Like Fede Alvarez got the Alien franchise. I want Ridley to get away. I don't know who's going to do Terminator. I want James Cameron. Get the fuck away. Don't even sign off on it.
Okay, so one more bit of movie news before we head out.
Oh, Lord. What is it?
Who
did it?
So it looks like the Saw franchise is coming to an end.
Oh.
Looks like it already ended. And Tobin Bell has said he's totally dead. It's 100% over. It's almost a year now. Tobin Bell is almost 80, and so he can't keep playing.
That statement was from him?
Yeah.
Ooh. I literally was talking to my sister about this when I was upstairs, and I was telling her, like, the franchise might be done, and she didn't like the news, but honestly, I was like, if this is what's happening, I'm not as sad as I thought I would be, because we got 10 movies out of a franchise that really didn't need it, but they managed to keep the shit fresh and consistent. Like the story, if it's over, I will always respect the Saw franchise for having the most airtight continuity I've ever seen in a horror franchise. 10 movies, and they leave no stone unturned with the story. I'm like, I gotta respect that. Y'all gave us 10 movies, and like I wanted to see where they were gonna go after this last one, because Saw 10 was pretty solid. But like, I mean, so, yeah, Tobin Bell he's old, man. That's like people that still want Robert Englund to play Freddy again. That shit is done. Tobin, but the thing is, this is where they fucked up. This is why they should have just picked up after Spiral like they were supposed to.
Yeah.
We finally got a Saw movie. That didn't have to use Tobin Bell as a crutch anymore, the same way they did for Scream 6. But studios need their fucking security blankets, bro. They always need their OG characters because they don't know how to move the fuck on without them. Like, you could have followed up Spiral, and maybe people would have, like, I know everybody was like, oh, Spiral was woke and all. Like, that's just dumb to fucking begin with. Like, Spiral was the same as any other Saw movie. The theme was just different. Like, the theme was like crooked cops. There's a theme in every Saw movie, to be honest. 6 was about the medical, the health industry or something like that. There's always a theme. But I don't know. I'm glad we got 10 movies out of it.
So this is coming from a producer that's actually on set, and he said, we're also hearing the advancing age of the series star Tobin Bell was also a concern. Bell, who has played John Kramer in 9 out of the 10 Saw installments, recently turned 81. We're hearing concerns that have been raised that Bell is no longer up to the physical demands of carrying the picture, having faced serious difficulties during the previous film.
Ooh, of carrying the picture, that was Tobin Bell's diss track right there. He was like, look, man, I've been carrying y'all for fucking 9 movies. I ain't doing it no more. Y'all ain't paying me enough for this shit. That's why they probably didn't de-age him or anything last time. He's like, I'm not doing all of that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm about to be 80. I've looked the same through all of these fucking movies, man. The only thing that changes is his facial hair and his hairstyle. But
so it looks like this movie, it looks like we're not going to get this movie at all this year.
Yeah.
They have.
I mean, who knows,
started
man?
filming.
And honestly, if they didn't and we still were getting one, I'm cool with that, because we did used to get these movies every Halloween. They were pumping these bitches out like it was nothing. And they were like, it was, if you want what you want out of a Saw movie, they deliver for the most part. And they got some misses, but if it was going to take some time to get the next one made, I'm cool with that. Because I didn't even think the last one was going to be good. But I don't know, maybe they wanted to rush it, and somebody on the other side was like, nah, man, we can't rush it this time.
Costa Milder and oh my god, what's her name? Shauna Lee had been picked to reprise their roles.
See, and that's what I wanted. I wanted Hoffman to come back, man. Like, if we were going to do anything, I wanted to get Hoffman back in the franchise, because he can't die. He cannot die. That motherfucker is like one of the only people to successfully make it out of the bear trap after it snapped. Like, He was too resourceful. He was way too resourceful. He was so dangerous in that movie. He was a serial killer in a movie that Saw is really not a slasher movie, and people always act like it is, but it's not. But he was the slasher in the Saw franchise. He was the motherfucker that was really doing the killing.
Yeah. And Spiral and Jigsaw both should have been like upended this franchise. Like, those two should have really set a new story and a new direction for the franchise. Because then you had that dude from Jigsaw that survived the barn.
Yeah.
Like,
the
he's
guy
a
that was
disciple, and he's carrying on the legacy of Jigsaw.
The guy that had the collar on at the end.
Yeah, and then you have the cop in Spiral, but we don't know where he came from or why. We don't really know what we know his motive, but we don't know if he was a disciple of Jigsaw.
Exactly. All of that shit was left open for question, and they could have continued that. But again, man, like, it's like I don't like Jigsaw, like the one that's before Spiral. That's probably like my least favorite, but it's still got moments in it. The story is still there, whether it's a prequel or not. And that was another movie where I'm like, all right, you had to put Jigsaw in here to tie it in, but had you not put Tobin Bell in here, I would have been cool with that too. But the fact that they had a whole movie next without him, they learned how to move without him, and they had to just go crawling right back. Like, oh, the producers or the writers or whatever were like, yeah, we realized we made a mistake killing him off in part 3, and it's like, no, the fuck you didn't, because he's in the rest of the movies after that. Like, you just bring him back via flashback or whatever. But the studios will learn, man. I want to know what they're gonna do, like with these franchises. I want to know what can y'all do without without holding the hand of a legacy character. I just always want to know that. Like, I know what you did last summer. That's why I'm glad that, like, if Jennifer Love Hewitt's not the star of the movie, I'm glad that they're bringing her in somehow. Like, we're trying to set this up to where if this new one pops, we can move on without her and Freddie Prinze Jr. or some shit. I don't know.
And it's unfortunate too, because you would think that Chris Rock would have been money to actually carry that franchise. With Chris Rock, Samuel L. Jackson, you would think those two would have been money to carry that franchise into like a new direction. And this whole thing about it, I really don't think people really gave it the shot, because there was a lot of turmoil going on, politically, and a lot of police brutality going on at that time. And people were just like very mad at police. They didn't want a movie like that at that time. You know what I mean? So I feel like, much like the Chucky remake, it was dead on arrival. People did not want to give it a shot.
Yeah.
They didn't want to give it a chance.
Had a bullseye on it before. Yes, and you're right. Same thing with the Child's Play remake. And I know a lot of people hated that remake because a lot of people are like purists of Brad Dourif, and I love Brad Dourif and like outside of the Chucky franchise, but the moment they said that it didn't have anything to do with Don Mancini, Brad Dourif, whatever, I'm like, okay, let's rock. Like, let's set this shit aside from what they're doing over there and see how different it could be. And the Child's Play remake did what it was supposed to do. Like, it stood on its own. It's not a soul of a killer. It's just AI technology gone wrong. And nobody
liked it. Megan did the exact same thing, and yet that was wildly successful, which is fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? There were a lot of great set pieces, especially the ending of Child's Play, where all of them came to life. That was a great set piece.
Where he was controlling all of those toys. Now, I like that third act. I would have went a little crazier. I thought the kids were going to start getting killed off. Yeah. When I saw that trailer, and Andy was side by side, and the gate was opening up, and all his friends had back, I said, he's going to get all these motherfuckers killed. Andy's not going to have any friends by the end of this movie, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool with that. But they went in a whole different direction. We still haven't gotten a remake for it. Even like Wrong Turn, like the sequels and reboots or whatever that go their own way. People don't, and I think I was watching an episode of Double Toasted, and Corey Coleman was talking about this shit. And he was saying, like, people don't, like, change even with their, like, most beloved franchises. You change one thing around to try to make it your own and give it, like, its own little authenticity. People are going to bitch about it, man.
Like,
and it's one of the things
fucking serious? What the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't have anything and you can't change anything. It's like, you need change in order to evolve the story and to evolve the franchise. Yep. You know what I mean? We can't rely on Robert Englund. We can't rely on Kane Hodder. Yep. Pretty soon, we're not going to be able to rely on David Howard Thornton. You know what I mean? Yep. We need more icons. We need to build more stars, more icons, more IP, more stuff. You know what I mean? I think and when people get attached to these, they feel like it's theirs. In a sense, it is, because we're funding them, we're watching them. You know what I mean? So we have a sense of ownership.
But I'm optimistic though. Like, and I get a lot of shit for it. Like when remakes and shit like that and recastings happen, I'm the one that's like, well, most of the time I'm like, I'll try to give it a fair shot. And people are like, well, it's people so fucking like cuckoo online. They're like, well, if it ain't Brandon Lee in The Crow, then I ain't watching. It's like, you do know Brandon Lee's no longer with us, right? That shit has sailed. Everybody shit on The Crow remake. I know you had some choice words for it when we reviewed that shit on the show. That's a whole different story. People, go to our review for The Crow 2024. Johnny had some.
But here's my thing though, and my thing is that my review was actually, I felt like my review was subjective, because I honestly didn't buy the relationship. Like, and at no point did I ever say, "Oh yeah, I didn't like this movie because no Brandon Lee." No, I didn't like this movie because it was bad. You know what I mean? It was a bad movie.
Like with that movie though, people were hating on it before it even came out. The moment the casting, all of that shit. But I'm asking everybody online, like when I would be in the comment section, I'm like, wait, like, so you don't feel any type of way about, Vincent Perez in the sequel, or Eric fucking Mabius, the Gregster in The Crow Salvation, or Edward Furlong? Like, we forgot those movies existed.
Or Mark
but everybody's
DeCosta's
just
as the TV version.
Now listen. I this is where this is where I draw. Listen, I like, if it was anybody who was fit to play Eric Draven again, the character of Eric Draven after Brandon Lee, I like Mark DeCostos as Eric Draven. The casting is cool. When you go back and watch the actual show, it does not hold up all that well.
No.
It does not. A lot of the acting, I'm like, the guy they got to play the Ernie Hudson character, I'm like, you ain't got it. You ain't got it, bruh. But people weren't even really in an uproar about the casting before. Like, remember when Bradley Cooper was supposed to play the Crow, and then Luke Evans was supposed to play the Crow, and so on and so forth. Nobody was really in an uproar until the movie was actually getting made. And nothing's going to touch the original, but it's like, damn, like, give it a fucking chance. I mean, I did. I didn't hate it, but it was a lot of it that didn't work. That relationship with Eric and Shelley did not work.
No, and that's the whole crux of the show, of the movie, is that relationship, Yeah. So I did not know Kadeem Hardison played the Skull Cowboy
in the deleted scene.
No, in the TV show.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about, because it was a deleted scene in the first movie with the Skull Cowboy.
That's the dude from The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, that's right. Wait. Is the original Hills Have
the
Eyes?
original. Yeah, the original.
Oh, you talking about that tall, creepy looking motherfucker?
Yeah. Forgot his name.
Kadeem Hardison, man.
Corey Feldman is in the TV show as well? The fuck?
He probably didn't even know that shit. They probably just saw him. Someone was like, "Yo, Corey, come be in."
There's actually a really good, decent amount of good casting in this show.
Yeah.
You got Brendan Fletcher. You got Michael
Brendan
Weatherly.
Fletcher is an underrated actor, man. That dude, Brendan Fletcher, does not get. Brendan Fletcher is the only person who can make a Uwe Boll movie tolerable. Ever.
Yeah.
That dude, he's pretty good, man. And he was a good character in Freddy vs. Jason that got a rotten deal.
He was actually supposed to have a bigger role in that movie.
And yet they gave it to John Ritter's son.
Yeah.
He's terrible in that movie.
So we can't have this ginger get with the hot blonde girl. What the fuck? What's the matter with us?
Yeah, he's never been the love interest. I mean, I don't know if you count Leprechaun Origins, because I think he had a girlfriend in that movie or something. But
man, they made 3 Rampage movies, bro.
I don't even really know if I want to bother with the other ones, because it's super. I'm only going but so political with my movies, man. Like, I almost didn't watch White House Down because I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this shit, man. I mean, it was pretty dumb fun.
No. Watch the other one, Olympus Has Fallen. That one's actually fucking fun. With Gerard Butler?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
bro. Yeah.
Said Gerard Butler. I'm cool.
Olympus Has Fallen, bro. Trust me, it's a better movie. It's a way better movie.
Gerard Butler? And Morgan Freeman's in that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think they made like 2 of them, right? They made like 2 or 3 of them.
London Has Fallen, and then Angel Has Fallen.
I don't know, man. I like Gerard Butler. I just can't. No.
I don't know.
No.
He has his moments, man. He has his moments.
Sometimes, yeah, he does. Sometimes he does.
I have not seen Den of Thieves 2 yet, so.
Me either.
So
I was holding out on it.
I'm waiting for that shit to come out on Max or Peacock, so I don't have to pay for it. What?
Olympus Has Fallen. I did not know Antoine Fuqua directed this.
Yeah, I think he directed
Equalizer, dude.
Equalizer,
Training Day. That I did not know. Damn, they made. Wait. London Has Fallen. Angel Has Fallen. This is a trilogy.
You really only need to watch Angel Has Fallen. London Has Fallen is not really that good.
I mean, there's always one. There's always one in the trilogy. Angela Bassett's in this. Radha Mitchell. I like Radha Mitchell. I think ever since Pitch Black, I'm like, okay, we need more of her on screen.
Radha Mitchell. She was also in Silent Hill, right?
Yep, and she was in The Crazies. So she's definitely a genre chick. So shout out to Radha Mitchell. We need you on the show because I need to know what happened to her character. Like, did she get eaten in Pitch Black? Do you remember her death scene in Pitch Black?
Doesn't she just get sucked into the void?
Yeah, like something like that, where she's talking to Riddick and she's like helping him like in the desert or whatever, and they're looking at it, they're staring into each other's eyes, and you think it's gonna be this lovey-dovey moment, and that shit just, I guess, it sticks her in the back and just pulls her away, and you don't see her again. Ooh, Piper Perabo is in Olympus, not Olympus. Angel Has Fallen. Piper Perabo. Oh my God! Piper Perabo, if you don't know who I'm talking about, just go watch
Coyote Ugly. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. You know what it is. It's Coyote Ugly. The Coyotes just got together for a reunion too. I'm not gonna lie. Like the young boy in me was kind of. Yeah, the young boy in me was kind of celebrating. It wasn't all of them. It was Maria Bello. It was Tyra Banks. I think Piper Perabo was there. Isabella Miko. I don't think the mean chick was there. The chick from my best friend's wedding. I forgot that girl's name. But the dark-haired chick with the mean streak. I don't think she was in it. I think the director was there. Yeah. And I think that was who was in there. The chick she was in the movie, but she was Piper Parabo's best friend. The chick from 2.5 Men. She was at the reunion too.
Melanie Linsky.
I love her, man. Like it took me a while to start like, and that's the girl from I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. She is great, yo. She does this whole like that movie. That's another movie I can recommend. I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. Macon Blair directed it. Elijah Wood's in it. That shit's hilarious, man. When she's at the bar reading that book, drinking her drink, and Macon Blair comes up to her and he spoils the fucking book ending for her, or whatever the chapter, I was like, this is shit that really happened, yo. And the way she reacted, it was kind of like, she's like, yeah, have a good one. And she's like, why the fuck would he do that? Like that movie is almost too relatable in certain scenes, yo. That is hilarious. Yeah. That's on some Clerks type of shit right there. That dry humor, man.
It's definitely something Randall would do.
Exactly.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh my God. But yeah, I would give Olympus Has Fallen a shot. Honestly, I mean that's a really decent action movie. Anton Fuqua, can't go wrong with that. So,
Olympus Has Fallen. So you said that's really the only one. You said that's the only one you need to watch.
Yeah, that's the only one you need to watch, honestly. And that's pretty much it. That wraps up that. You want to get into our main event?